Welcome back, folks, to Pirates of the Burning Sea. As always, I'm your host, J-Square John Jeremy, and last we left off, we had finished our tutorial here in-game, and we're now about to talk with our first quest giver in Ebenezer Dingham. We're here on Marsh Harbor, the capital port of the Brethren of the Coast, the pirate faction in-game. Now, we can accept a couple of missions here from Ebenezer, but first, let's ask him some questions. Are you a pirate? What? I do resent the implication, sir. I've half a mind to sick my parrot on you. I do. I would. Were she not, well, sick. Are you a pirate? Of all the scurvy and salt and bilge. I'm an independent captain in a free port. Pirate, indeed. If I knew you better, matey, I'd make you walk the plank for saying that. Yo ho ho. What else is going on? Who are you, and why are you so friendly? Why, I'm Ebenezer Dingham, of course. I once commanded a small vessel sailing out of Marsh Harbor, and when my no-good crew mutinied, I didn't have anywhere else to call home. If you need any directions or advice, I'm happy to share what I know. As for friendly, I don't know about that. It's not like I'll just start talking to any old cove what sets foot on the dock. I've got standards, mate. Then again, I've found it pays to make friends. You'll never know when you'll need them. Loyalties have a way of changing at the drop of a hat in these waters, and trust can be rarer than gold. Always remember that, me hearty. Where can a man get a drink around here? There's only one place worth going for a drink. Here, I'll mark our local tavern on that town map of yours. I'd have you offer the barkeep my compliments, were I not all but certain they'd be returned with a glare and a curse. What I'm saying is this. I've got a bar tab as long as a frigate's keel, Captain Jeremy, and I try not to set foot in the tavern all that often. Too bad, too. We used to be mates, he and I. Who's in charge around here? Boss Powell Ithier runs the free port of Marsh Harbor. He's a fine leader, and I firmly believe he's looking out for this town's best interests. Not everyone thinks so, especially those who object to some of the folk our boss has to do business with in order to keep Marsh Harbor as free and prosperous as might be expected. On the other hand, there are those who say that the bloody arms are the real power in town. Nonsense, I say. The bloody arms are a threat, and one that may never go away. But our Mr. Ithier would never sell out to those dogs. He's one of us, born and raised, in fact. More new world than old in him, to be sure. Now don't you listen to those who ascribe any wicked motives to the town boss. They're only out to do evil themselves. What's going on around here? Only history, matey, only history. Centuries ago, it was that word that came back from the first bold explorers in these parts. A new world awaited men and women with the courage and spirit to face the dangers that came with it. Marsh Harbor is one of those rare towns that can truly call itself a free port, owing loyalty to no one crown, but to the kings of commerce, the saints of freedom, and the patrons of adventure. That's a way of saying we generally live and let live here because it's damned convenient for everyone to have a place like Marsh Harbor, where no one king can shut out any others. Aye, we've been here long enough that we have townsfolk who've never set foot in the old world, myself included. And we've got newcomers arriving by the score, all of them looking to make their mark, and let's be honest, their fortunes. But you meant specifically, didn't you? What's going on around here at this very moment is nothing less than a fight for survival. The bloody arms have singled this town out for punishment, and anyone who might know why aren't talking. With no peace on the horizon, our only choice is to fight back with all we've got. For now, we're holding our own. But there may come a day when men like you are the only ones standing between this town and damnation. Know that when that day comes, I'll be fighting for Marsh Harbor, no matter which side you may choose. Nice background from Ebenezer regarding Marsh Harbor. Keep in mind that this is the first character you meet in Pirates of the Burning Sea besides the tutorial characters, so it's nice to get some information here. So, we've got a couple of missions here we can accept. Let's first talk to the pirate trainer. The name's Dingham, matey. Ebenezer Dingham. I suppose I should be welcoming you to town, Captain Jeremy. You'll find Marsh Harbor friendly enough for a free port operating in one of the most hotly contested stretches of sea this side of the channel. The Bloody Arms, a gang of wicked pirate rogues, are the biggest problem we've got around here. And they're all the problem we need. They'll take on anyone, even fellow pirates. If you want to be making a name for yourself, you'll need to learn some sailing tricks. Them Bloody Arms have been at sea for a long time and know more than a few ways to reef a sail. There's a cove here in town what can learn you the ropes, as it were. Talk to the cutthroat trainer. He'll set you to rights. And we'll get some gold, which is the currency here in game, and 20 experience points. And I accept this mission. It won't be hard to find. Just keep your ear out for the sound of someone showing off everything he knows to anyone who will listen. Nice little metagame there. Okay, so if we take a look at our map, we're able to see that we've now got stars here, which will indicate people that we can talk to. In this case, speak to the town crier and talk to the pirate trainer, both here on the map. I can also bring up the map right here. Now, as you can see, we're here in Marsh Harbor. There are red zones you may see on the map. The red zones indicate PvP zones. And this game works a bit differently in that PvP zones are created by players creating unrest nearby these ports. And you create unrest by sinking NPC ships. So, the more ports you create unrest in, the more PvP zones become active. And PvP zones tend to cause a bit of trouble along the way. Now, we're walking through Marsh Harbor right now on our way to meet the pirate trainer. And as you can see right here, it's a rather large town. Given for its time, at least. Now, here's the cutthroat trainer. I'm a trainer. That means I teach skills, you know, like cannonball skills, navigation skills, beat up the Navy skills. Crews only want captains who have great skills. Good! Let's discuss the mission, talk to the pirate trainer. I don't believe we've met before. What can I do for you, Captain? Well, I've heard we might have similar interests, you and I. I'm here to learn every sneaky trick a pirate can know. Old Ebenezer sent you, eh? You've come to the right place. I take independent captains like you and teach them what they need to know to survive. Whenever you earn captain skill points, come see me to learn new skills. Well, there you go. Now, before we start with his missions, let's go ahead and go back to Ebenezer to move on to the next quest. I want to focus on one quest giver at a time here. Makes things a bit easier for us. So, we'll make our way back over to the main port. This game is celebrating its 8th anniversary. This month, actually. And while you might not see a lot of population here in game, it certainly has its charm. Ebenezer, let's talk about the economy. Getting started. Another new swashbuckling captain, eh? Well, if you want to make it anywhere in the Caribbean, you're going to need supplies. Other captains, such as yourself, manufacture most goods of themselves and sell them in the local auction house. You should go to the shop and speak to the auctioneer's assistant to learn more. A lot more gold in this run. Great. Just speak to Assistant Van Dulken in the shop and she'll get you started. Alrighty. I will do just that. So the shop here is actually... Is that the shop right there? Nope, that's the town crier. The shop is where you can, in fact, sell your goods and purchase goods at the auction house. I forgot about that. That's pretty funny. Right here is the shop. So we'll just go ahead and enter here. And we can see here a couple of different options. The society registrar is where you can... create your societies, what the game calls guilds here in game. The flag and sail customizer, I don't know if that's working properly anymore ever since the changeover. The fence is where you can distribute your goods, and then here's Assistant Van Dulken, who we need to speak to. Hi, welcome to the shop. Can I help you with anything? Yeah, sure, we can discuss this mission. Hi, you look a bit lost. Well, this is the shop. The man standing next to me on that box is the auctioneer. Speaking to him will let you enter the auction house, where you'll be able to browse listings for goods created by other captains, and create your own listings as well. You can also place buy orders in the auction house. If something you need is not up for auction, you can place a buy order for that item, and if something you have is needed by someone else, you can fulfill their buy order by selling them your item. Check out the auction house and meet me in the back room when you're done. Sure. Excellent. Come and see me in my office, through that door just behind me, and I can explain more. Alright, so let's talk to the auctioneer. That's 2! Do I hear 3? Enter the auction house. So, this is the new player auction house. You can see here that if I wanted to search for items here, all of these items are currently available for sale in-game.
Does anyone have a real notice to read? I grow weary of these shenanigans.
You can see here that the costs for them are quite extreme in some cases, depending on how long people have been playing this game. It's very hard for a new player, to be quite honest, to just jump right into the auction house and expect to purchase things. Don't really work out that way. You can also sell your own goods here, create your buy orders, pick up items. You will need to pick up in specific ports that you purchased from. So, say, for example, you buy in the Bahamas. We're not in the Bahamas. We're in Marsh Harbor. Well, actually, Cat Island, for example. You would have to go to Cat Island to pick up the actual item, much like Eve. And in those cases, it may become difficult for you if that place becomes a PvP red zone. So you need to risk it, which is kind of fun in certain ways. So, let's continue on with our quest here for the economy. Okay. New objective is to speak to the assistant again. Welcome to the back room of the shop. I bet you thought you'd never see it, eh? There's some barrels over there, some crates, papers, a goblet. I thought we were going to talk about auction house. Right. The auction house is the cornerstone of buying and selling items in the Caribbean. It's the backbone of modern society. Not only can you make auction listings to sell items that you own, you can place a buy order for items that you need. All of the current listings are created by other captains such as yourself. You can buy anything from raw materials to advanced manufactured goods in the auction house. Using both auction listings and buy orders, you should be able to get anything you desire. Well, how does it work? Auction houses use a regional listing system, so you can see all of the items in the same region as that auction house. There are 9 regions in all: the Antilles, the Bahamas, Louisiana, Mexico, New Granada, New Spain, the Yucatan, Florida, and Guyana. You can purchase things via auction remotely, and then pick them up later in the port that they are in. Don't tarry too long, though. You can incur storage fees, and even lose the item if you leave it at the pickup box for too long. Be aware that you cannot use some functions of the auction house, like search or create listing, if your reputation is less than indifferent with the National Trade Union of that port. Well, what about buy orders? Where auction listings are the supply, buy orders provide the demand. If there is something you need, you can go to the auction house and create a buy order for any item that can be auctioned, and other players will be able to fulfill those buy orders with goods of their own. Where am I going to keep all the things that I buy and sell? You can keep them in your ship's hold, but when it fills up, you're going to need a warehouse. You should also keep in mind that most goods are unsecured cargo. These goods are marked with a yellow triangle, and they will be lost if your ship sinks. Goods kept in your warehouse will be safe in such a situation. I think that Ebenezer Dingham might be able to help you build a warehouse and start producing goods of your own as well. Thanks. I'll go talk with him. Excellent. So we finished up with that quest, and now I'm lost again. So we need to go around here? Nope. This is this is a very big back room, I'm just saying. Where's the door out of here, damn it? There it is. Okay. Now that we know about quests, not quests, but rather the economy, let's go see if we can continue on with our economy tutorial with Ebenezer. Hey, Ebby. ¿Qué pasa? Let's discuss the mission. Welcome back. I trust that Assistant Van Dulken was helpful. Yeah, she said you could tell me where I could build a warehouse and start production of my own. Well, I believe I have some contacts who can set you up with a warehouse and structures. Let me know if you want to pursue that lead. Okay. So the next step is accepting the mission, the economy, start production in Cat Island. So, you want to start production of your own goods to sell in the auction house? Or maybe you wish to create a manufacturing line and produce your own ship outfitting. The possibilities are endless. I know someone in Cat Island who can help you build a warehouse, and then a hunting lodge. You'll have your own business in no time. So, we'll get gold, we'll get experience points, and more importantly, we'll get a deed for a hunting lodge, where we can harvest game for meats and hides. And that's important for us, not only just getting the hunting lodge, but getting these deeds. And we'll talk more about that once we continue with the economy tutorial. I'll send word to Free Trader Wellsman in Cat Island to procure a structure deed and some funds for you. Good luck. Alright, so let's go out into the open sea for the first time in this game. Longboat Coxswain. Time to go to the open sea. So one of the unique things about Pirates of the Burning Sea is the fact that when you're traveling on the game map, you're actually traveling using your ship. As you can see right here, I'm using what's known as a Halifax schooner in order for us to traverse from one port to another. As you advance in rank and you level up your character, you'll have the opportunity to use better and more powerful ships. Keep in mind that travel in the open sea is slower than in other games. In fact, I equate it much more to EVE than with any other MMO, in that you need to go from port to port, and it kind of takes a bit of time. There's not necessarily a fast travel option. In fact, the video that you're seeing right now has been sped up in order for us to make this trek just a little bit easier. And during the course of your travels on the open sea, you may have the chance to have an encounter with enemy ships, mostly NPCs, but again, if you travel in the red zones of certain PvP designated areas, you'll find yourself under attack from another player. So just keep that in mind as well. Looks like we're about to reach the harbor here in Cat Island. Keep in mind that there are 87 ports in the game, 86 of them divided between the 4 nations, and then 1 port specifically for the Dutch.
Would you like to have another peg leg, huh?
Alright folks, we've now arrived here at Cat Island. As you can see, it's a different port than Marsh Harbor is for sure. Not nearly as developed. And we're looking specifically for the individuals that can help us with our quest here with the economy, which is over in this direction. Probably in this shop. Excellent. So, if we speak here to Free Trader Wellamson, we'll be able to continue on with our economy tutorial. But we'll go ahead and do that next time. Hey everybody, J Square John Jeremy here. Just want to thank you all for watching this video. If you want to see me try and fail at another video game, go ahead and click the left-hand thumbnail. If you want to keep track of this channel, click the right-hand thumbnail and subscribe. And as always, I look forward to your feedback, so please post in the comments section below or reach out to me on social media. Until next time, this is J Square John Jeremy signing off, saying so long and take care.